This is Paula with 'Cause Thrift Happens, and I am starting a new little series here where I'm going to go over some of my older kits because at this point in time I've been selling on ThredUp for about a year and a half now. And what I mean by that is I've been selling full time. Most of my reselling business is going to ThredUp or is me selling on ThredUp versus traditional online reselling. This time a year ago, which I thought would be a good time to start looking at the kits, is to see what sold for me a year ago around the same time. Some things may not sell the same today, a year later, but I still think it's helpful for you to see how some even fall winter items were selling in the summertime, but also to see sort of my process to get to where I am today. Because what I did learn in the summertime last year is that there is summer slowdown. Plus, I was just sending in whatever I could find that was a good brand, that I could get a decent payout, I was sending in, which wasn't very strategic of me at the time, which since then I have learned. But I do want to just show you the process overall. So we're going to start with this particular kit. We'll go down to the bottom. So I ordered this May 28th. And this is when processing times were a lot faster for me. I'm in Colorado. My items now go to Arizona. When this kit processed, all my items were going to Georgia. So my items went to Georgia until I think maybe October or November, and then they went to Arizona. Since they've been going to Arizona, the processing times are pretty slow. The fastest they've been is maybe 3 weeks, and the slowest they've been is 6 weeks. And I'm now sitting at about 4 to 5 weeks. So just kind of keep that in mind. I ordered my label on May 28th. I sent that box back in literally the next day. And then it was received and processed pretty much 2 weeks later, which is fantastic. So they accepted 27 items. They rejected 7 of them. What I do know about last year, I know what my overall cost of goods was for last year. Plus, I know that also factors in reclaims. So my overall cost last year was about $4.85 per item. I spent around $165 on these 34 items, for which 7 were rejected and returned. Actually, 7 were rejected, and at this time, I wasn't doing the $4.99 to have the items returned back to me. And that's because when my items were going to Georgia, I really felt like more of them were getting accepted, and I really just didn't care if they weren't taking them. I didn't really want them back. I just let them go ahead and donate them or whatever it is that ThredUp does. Because I was primarily doing the bins. I would do a little bit of thrifting. I was also depleting some of my own inventory and sending it into ThredUp. So I just wasn't really thinking too much about the strategy. I was just sending stuff in. I was just trying to send in as many items as possible, which is a good strategy to a point. But at the same time, you will need to develop some kind of a plan for how to move forward, which to me isn't always necessarily about quantity. And at this time last year, I was kind of focused on quantity. Considering that they only accepted 27 items, this kit made me $407. At $165, to make $400 is really great in 60 to 90 days. So let's go ahead and take a look at what sold in that kit. And again, this is right at the end of May, so mid-June. So we're going straight into summertime. So this Donna Morgan cocktail dress, it was new with tags. I believe it was dead stock. So it was just a vintage style new with tags. And I believe most of these were bins pickups. So that I made $36 on that. These Everlane flats, I made $32. These Torrid flats, I made $20. This We the Free trench coat, I made $55. These Rachel Zoe, and this was for TJ Maxx. So there are some brands that have diffusion lines. For example, Rachel Zoe is one. Cynthia Rowley is another one. I think Ellie Tahari, I forget what, it's either T for Tahari or it might just be Tahari. They have these diffusion lines that I think they specifically sell at places like TJ Maxx, and ThredUp knows that. So Rachel Zoe versus Rachel Zoe TJ Maxx is different, but I still made $14.37, so that's good. They're calling this a cardigan. It was actually a sweater. It was $9.81, which is pretty good considering that somebody bought this in the summertime. Mac Studio, which now I still pick up Mac Studio but I do it a little bit different. I'll either pick it up at the bins if it's a dress, especially this time of year, or I'm looking for something maybe more substantial if it can be considered or labeled a cocktail dress. But still, I made $25.38. This made by Anthropologie. It was a long sleeve top, $20. This Prana casual dress, $20. These Max Studio linen pants, $23. This Ann Taylor cocktail dress was $21. This Bowden casual dress, I believe this one was linen, $51. And then this was kind of surprising, these Express dress pants. And I'm assuming it's because they were kind of like a wide leg stretch knit dress pant. But because ThredUp labeled them as a dress pant versus like a casual pant, the payout was a little bit higher. So I normally don't send an Express at all. I have a feeling it probably didn't sell at my consignment store, and so I sent it into ThredUp, and I kind of just didn't care what happened to them. But just something to keep in mind, if anything, cocktail dress, dress pant, wool pants, anything that elevates the kind of item or the particular item will help it be priced higher, which means that your payout will be higher. So just kind of keep those things in mind. This Torrid casual skirt, $14.90. This Calvin Klein blazer, $21.36. Free People top, $18.28. And this AYR turtleneck, $32.84, which that seems kind of low actually for AYR, to be quite honest with you. And so I don't even remember my mindset if I was just if I lowered the prices on some of these, because I do feel like a lot of these items I would be pricing significantly higher now that I have a year under my belt. So that's kind of another thing. It's good for me to kind of review and look back at what things were selling at the price point for and my earnings, because that is actually really kind of helpful for me to see like my growth and where I am now. Okay, so these are the items that I just let expire with these Fry ankle boots. They weren't ankle boots, they were like leather sneakers, and they weren't in that great of condition. This LL Bean jacket, it wasn't a jacket, it was like button up long sleeve top. This Talbot sweater, these Zara jeans, this Torrid top, and then this cocktail dress. So clearly I was okay. I didn't want to pay this. For me in Colorado, $6.65 to reclaim these items. So I just went ahead and let them expire, which to today, looking at this, I would be very happy with the same sort of thing. So these reclaimed items, these Tory Burch wedges, this Athleta turtleneck sweater, in the future, I probably wouldn't have reclaimed that. I imagine, if I can sort of tap into my brain a year ago, into the past, I was thinking that going into fall maybe, that I would send this to my consignment store because Athleta does really well there. So I'm thinking that's what I did, and that more than likely I thought even if I could make $5, that would probably be okay. This parachute pullover sweater, I don't know why I reclaimed that one, and this Mountain Hardwear track jacket. I don't really remember that one. I'm not really sure why I reclaimed that one either. So today, honestly, if I were to look at the same kit, I would not have reclaimed, the only item I would have reclaimed were these Tory Burch wedges. And to be honest with you, actually, and this is a really good thing to note, I still have these Tory Burch wedges. So I have sent them to ThredUp a couple times. I think I've sent them to my consignment store. Again, this is good for me to review because a year later, I still have these Tory Burch wedges. It might be time for me to just let them go. And I think sometimes I get brand blinded and really feel like, oh, they'll sell eventually to somebody. So if they don't make it this next round currently in 2026 in June, I'll probably just let them expire. I won't reclaim them. And then I had 7 items that were no earnings, which I don't even really, of course, a year ago, don't really remember. But overall, I would say, and the way I look at things is that the items that I reclaim, I don't factor that in necessarily to this kit. I look at it as if I'm purchasing inventory for myself. So I paid $6.65 for each one of these items, and that's going to be my cost of goods when they go to their next destination, whether that's a new ThredUp box, whether that's to my consignment store. The cost of that item is $6.65, even though technically I've already made a profit off of them because I did make a profit off of the entire kit. But it's just the way I look at things. You might want to look at things a bit differently. And regardless of how I look at things, you can still see that this kit performed pretty well, considering, and that I still made, having spent about $165 on everything, even the ones that got returned back to me, and then the items that expired, I still made $407. So I think that as you go through this and as you can start to really evaluate your kits over a 90-day period, because that's when they'll have gone completely through their selling cycle, especially if you have some higher end or nicer items in that particular kit, it's just a really good way to, I think, reflect and look back at how you are doing on ThredUp. And it's really good for me to kind of look back and see how I did about a year ago, because I do have some kits I can tell that just did not do very well. And it's good for me to see that, to kind of understand where I am today. And that's why I'm hopefully helping you guys get through that learning process and skip all of the steps that or all of the mistakes I've made, I should say, and to skip those steps. You'll still have to learn on your own. You'll still have to test things out, see what works for you, see what you're comfortable with. You may not want to reclaim items, which I completely understand. You may be okay getting a lower payout and a quicker flip. I completely understand that too. It's just whatever works for your particular business model. We're going to do some more deep dives so you can see what sold for me a year ago on ThredUp around the same time. And then hopefully over time, you can see that I actually do develop a strategy and a process for sort of how I go about things. And that's why I really encourage all of you right now, look for more substantial items. Look for those cocktail dresses, look for dress pants, look for a silk long sleeve top. Those kinds of items, especially if you're paying up for them. And I would also encourage you, there are two ways to go about it. If you source at the bins primarily, do a little bit of a quantity to begin with, because that will provide you a lot of data and insight into what brands sell for you. And I don't think that's a bad way of going about it. That's the way I went about it. Where I am right now, a year and a half later, even when I source at the bins, for my getting to 8 to 10K profit a month, I pass on brands I know that I'm not going to make a decent payout on. I'm specifically looking for items that can make my payouts like $45 or higher, because I don't want to send in as many items. For my thrift 401k, I'm just kind of picking up whatever, which is kind of fun too. And I'm happy to make $10 because I'm sourcing at the bins. And then I can just turn that inventory over quicker, and then I just let those items expire. And that's a different business model. So as you go through this, that's what you need to figure out, is if you can come across quantity and it's brands that ThredUp accepts, it might be worthwhile for you to just send them in and see how they do. And quantity might work out really well for you. You might be somebody who comes across quality and they're somewhat decently priced. You might want to go that route. And so anyways, the whole process of just testing and learning on your own is really beneficial, I think. And I can give you all the tips and tricks until my face turns blue, but it doesn't matter because it has to be your experience. You're going to have to go out and find specific items, test them out, and see what feels okay for you. You might want you might want that money a little bit quicker than I do. And that's exactly what I wanted initially. And I have a year under my belt. Like I have a full 2025 to know how I did. And so that's why I trust my system and my process. You don't have that yet. And so you need to develop it. It's like you need to sort of develop and work those muscles to be stronger and to have that mentality of whatever business model you choose to really kind of double down, hone in, and do that. So anyways, sorry for the long-winded explanation and just sort of how I look at my own business model. But I will be looking at future kits for all of you to just kind of have a look at, and we'll show you the good ones. This was, I would say, an average one, and we'll go over some bad ones, and you can see where I really failed. For example, those Tory Burch wedges, it's so good for me to see them right now because I still have them. It's been a year. I need to be done with them. I need to just let go of them. So as I've said before, I'm not by any means, the gold standard yet. I am still learning. I am still evolving. I'm still figuring things out as I go, which is great. That's what I love about this particular business model, is that it keeps you on your toes and it keeps you fresh, and you're always having to kind of figure things out. And reselling in general, I feel like, has been that for me. And I don't shy away from that. I like it because I'm a bit odd and strange and I have a bit ADHD. And so I love it when I have to pivot and shift. And, even with the Arizona warehouse, it's driving me absolutely crazy. But at the same time, it just makes me think of a different way of approaching how I'm going to send in items to that warehouse now that I know that they're slowing down. And so I don't mind that. Now I'm thinking of fall already, starting to source for fall in June, things like that. So anyways, more to come. I just wanted to share this one with you, and I hope you enjoyed this video and it offered some